Good evening. Welcome to Bulletin at 9. I'm Oinitam. First up, the top headlines at this hour. Also, ADYCP forms committee to protect Assam's future. Guwahati Airport to be leased out for 50 years. Union Cabinet gives the go-ahead. Tripura police arrests 2 in connection with rape of 2 minors. And now the news in details. The All Assam Students Union and the Assam Jatiyatabadi Yuva Chhatra Parishad, or the AJYCP, they have come together and set up an 18-member committee. In fact, they have come up with an Assam Advisory Committee, that is what they are calling the committee. This was announced at a press conference held in Guwahati today. Both representatives of both the student bodies were present at that particular press conference, and what the leaders of ASU and AJYCP have said is that this particular advisory committee has been set up to look into matters related to the social, political, economic issues of Assam and try and decide on what needs to be done to address some of the issues in each of these areas. In fact, this particular committee will also advise both the students' bodies, that's All Assam Students Union and the Assam Jatiyatabadi Yuva Chhatra Parishad, on the future course of action, the steps these two unions need to take, these two students' bodies needs to take for the further upliftment and development of the people of Assam and Assam in particular. In fact, this particular committee has some of the very prominent personalities of Assam. The advisors appointed for this advisory committee are eminent literature former Rajya Sabha member, Mr. Nagen Saikia, and also eminent writer, journalist, Padma Shri awardee, Arup Kumar Datta. They both have been appointed as the advisors for this 18-member committee. And some of the other eminent personalities who are part of this particular committee are national award-winning filmmaker Janu Barua. He is also the recipient of Padma Bhushan, and also on that particular committee is the former Meghalaya governor, Ranjit Shekhar Mushahari. In fact, Mr. Mushahari has also served as the Director General of NSG. He was there as head of BSF, the Director General of BSF, and also the Director General of Police of Kerala. So very, very high profile committee there that has come into being, a joint initiative by ASU and AJYCP. Remember, this committee comes at a time when there's barely few months to go for the Assam elections. It is sometime next year in April, May, that is when the state elections will happen. And this is actually a very, very significant move by the All Assam Students Union and comes within days of ASU going ahead and disclosing the contents of the confidential report, the report submitted by the high-level committee set up to look into the definition of Assamese and implementation of Clause 6 of Assam Accord that was signed way back in 1985. So the political scene actually is heating up in Assam. Now let us just listen in to what Lurendjyoti Gogoi, the General Secretary of All Assam Students Union, had to say after the announcement of the setting up of this 18-member advisory committee and also after addressing the press conference. Let's listen in.
গতিকে এই সকলো বিষয়ত পৰামৰ্শদাতা সমিতিয়ে পৰামৰ্শ দিব পৰামৰ্শদাতা সমিতিয়ে কেনেকুৱা পৰামৰ্শ দিব তাৰ ওপৰত ভিত্তি কৰি পৰৱৰ্তী সিদ্ধান্ত তেওঁলোকে ইয়াত কোৱাই হৈছে যে সময়সূচিত পদক্ষেপ কথা তেওঁলোকে পৰামৰ্শটো আহিব দিয়ক পৰামৰ্শ দি লওক তেওঁলোকে কেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ ব্যৱস্থা কৰিব কেনেকুৱা পৰামৰ্শ দিব তাৰ ওপৰত ভিত্তি কৰি পৰৱৰ্তী সিদ্ধান্ত এতিয়া হাইপথেটিকেল কথা ক'লে মই ভাবোঁ শুদ্ধ নহ'ব বেছি আগতীয়া হয় পৰামৰ্শদাতা সমিতিখনক আমি স্বতন্ত্ৰভাৱে কাম কৰাৰ কাৰণে তেওঁলোকক সুবিধা দিব লাগিব তেওঁলোকে অসমৰ সমাজ জীৱনৰ অসমৰ জাতীয় জীৱনৰ সকলো প্ৰেক্ষাপট চাই সকলো বিষয় এটা জাতি নিজৰ মেৰুদণ্ড পোন কৰি থিয় হৈ থাকিবলৈ নিজৰ শিৰ উচ্চ কৰি থিয় হৈ থাকিবলৈ বেলেগৰ মানে বদল এখন নকৰিবৰ কাৰণে যিবোৰ অৱলম্বন লাগে বেলেগৰ বহতীয়া হৈ নাথাকিবলৈ যিবোৰ অৱলম্বন লাগে এটা জাতিৰ যিটো মানে পৰিক্ৰমা বিশ্বাসঘাতকতা প্ৰতাৰণাৰ যিটো পৰিক্ৰমা এই পৰিক্ৰমাৰ মাজত আমি কেনেকৈ আগবাঢ়িম সেই সম্পৰ্কত তেওঁলোকে শক্তিশালী স্থিতি প্ৰদান কৰিব সেই পৰামৰ্শ লৈ আমি আগবাঢ়িম আৰু সময়োচিত পৰামৰ্শ দিব বুলি আমি আত্মবিশ্বাসী আৰু সময়ত সঠিক সিদ্ধান্তৰ গোটেই প্ৰক্ৰিয়াটো আছে কি কথা কৈছে আমাৰ ছাত্ৰ সন্থাৰ যিটো অৰাজনৈতিক স্বতন্ত্ৰ যিটো চৰিত্ৰ ৮৫ সময়তো আছে আৰু ৮৫ পিছৰ দীঘলীয়া পৰিক্ৰমা আজি 2020 চনলৈকে পৰিক্ৰমা থাকিব আৰু অনন্তকাললৈকে থাকিব যোনে যি কথাই নকওক লাগে যিকোনো ধৰণৰ তৰল পাতল কথাই নকওক লাগিলে ছাত্ৰ সন্থাৰ যিটো স্বতন্ত্ৰ যিটো অৰাজনৈতিক শক্তি যিটো সংগ্ৰামী সত্তা এইটো সৰ্বকালৰ কাৰণে জীয়াই সকলো হাইপথেটিকেল মানুহে এটা পূৰ্ব এটা ধাৰণা প্ৰকৃত কথাৰে আমি আলোচনা কৰিতো লাভ নাই যিবোৰ কথা চলি আছে মই সদৌ অসম ছাত্ৰ সন্থাৰ সাধাৰণ সম্পাদক মোৰ এতিয়া দায়িত্ব কি সদৌ অসম ছাত্ৰ সন্থাক শক্তিশালী আৰু গতিশীল ৰূপত আগবঢ়াই লৈ যোৱা জাতীয় জীৱনৰ সংকটৰ কালত জাতীয় জীৱনক শক্তিশালী ৰূপত আগবঢ়াই লৈ যোৱা মোৰ প্ৰাথমিক দায়িত্ব গতিকে এইবোৰ কথা কিছুমান মানুহে মানৱ বিভ্ৰান্তি সৃষ্টি কৰিবৰ কাৰণে এটা কল্পনাপ্ৰসূত চিন্তাপ্ৰসূত কথাৰে সমাজক বিভ্ৰান্ত কৰিব খুজিছে ছাত্ৰ সন্থাক আঁচুৰ লগাব খুজিছে কিন্তু চব ছাত্ৰ সন্থাৰ এই দীঘলীয়া জন্মকালৰে পৰা বহু এনেকুৱা ঘটনা ঘটিল ঘাত প্ৰতিঘাত আহিল বহু ব্যক্তিয়ে ছাত্ৰ সন্থাক বেলেগ বেলেগ ৰূপত লৈ যাবৰ কাৰণে চেষ্টা কৰিছে কিন্তু কেতিয়াও ছাত্ৰ সন্থা অলৰ অচৰ দৃঢ়
Well, there's that committee set up just when Assam is getting ready for elections, the state elections next year, like I have mentioned. Of course, the BJP, we've just seen a lot of artists, in fact, joining the BJP, and in fact, a lot of T tribes people joining the Congress in Naharkatia. So a lot of action now happening, and why not? Because just few months to go for the 2021 elections in Assam. Now, in a significant decision today, the Union Cabinet, chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, had given the go-ahead to the proposal for leasing of Jaipur, Guwahati, and Thiruvananthapuram airports. Of course, this is not a permanent decision. That's what the Union Minister, Mr. Prakash Javadekar, said while briefing the media about the decisions taken by the Union Cabinet today. Now, the lease will be for a period of 50 years. The airport authority will be utilizing the revenue collected from the lease to develop airports in smaller cities, and also this particular move is expected to benefit passengers because the facilities is expected to improve. Now, these are some of the airports which are now run by the Airport Authority of India. So the lease happening for 50 years. Of course, it's a private player. It will be done through a PPP mode. That is what the Union Cabinet proposal says. And the lease for 50 years, the revenue collected will be utilized by Airport Authority of India to develop airports in smaller cities, and the facilities in these airports which will be up for lease, will improve because the revenue earned will go into improving the facilities for passengers. Now, in fact, that is one significant decision. Earlier too, the Union Cabinet had given the go-ahead for other airport authority operated airports to be leased out. Now, in some other important decisions taken by the Union Cabinet today, a decision was taken to set up a national recruitment agency that will conduct a common eligibility test for selection of non-gadgeted for selection of candidates to non-gadgeted posts in the central government and public sector banks. Now, this is one particular move that is expected to benefit all those people, the youth who are looking for jobs. In fact, that is what the Prime Minister hopes is going to happen once this particular agency is set up. And in fact, he had tweeted to saying that this should actually give a boost and benefit all those people, all those youngsters, all those people who are looking for jobs. So very important decisions coming out from the Union Cabinet meeting that was held earlier in the day today in New Delhi. Moving on to news from Tripura. Tripura police has arrested 2 persons in connection with 2 separate rape cases. Now, these rapes actually involve minor girls. Police further informed that they have lodged a case against a youth on charges of raping a 17-year-old girl at a village in Teliamura in Khowai district. The complaint was lodged by the rape survivor's father after about a week of the incident. In another case, a 15-year-old girl was allegedly gang raped by 5 youth on Sunday in a village in Bishramganj in Sipahijala district. A case has been lodged against the accused under sections of the POCSO Act. Police informed that an accused has been arrested and presently he is in judicial custody. In fact, during this month, the state of Tripura has seen at least 5 rape cases. So very, very unfortunate incidents being reported from the state of Tripura. The state has witnessed 4 rape cases, and all of these rape cases involve minor girls. Now, the Tripura police really taking action into those cases, looking into those cases and taking proper action against the perpetrators. Moving back to Assam and news about the Bagjan oil well fire. In fact, all efforts to douse the fire today failed. The Oil India Limited experts, they had achieved some success on Monday when they were able to cap the head of the well, and expectations were that in the next 24 hours, that is by today latest, they would have been able to douse the fire by pumping in mud with very high pressure, something considered to be extremely risky. Very risky operation is what most experts feel, and in fact even the Oil India authorities have told us that that's a very risky operation. That is what they were hoping to do today and douse the fire, but the entire attempt failed. And what the oil authorities have said is that there was some technical issue, which is why they could not kill the well and douse the fire. Now, after Monday's successful capping operation and 2 failed attempts to shut the Oil India Limited's well number 5 in Bagjan in Assam's Tinsukia district, the Oil India Limited experts, they had tried to kill the well once in July and again as early as August 10th, and both the times they just could not do it because the Athe wagon fell away from the well head and they could not cap, they could not place the blowout preventer exactly where it needs to be placed. So finally Monday they did get lucky, but again today it was failure for them. Now all arrangements for carrying out well killing operations such as connections of kill lines and choke manifold lines, all of these things were completed today. However, the final well killing work, the risky operation of pumping mud with high pressure into the well, that is what failed, and the entire process took a huge beating. Now, what the oil authorities are saying is that the process of killing of whale was attempted, but there were some challenges and the mission failed. It's only after the experts return, experts at Duliajan come back, that the oil authorities will get to know what actually went wrong. Now, the next course of action will, they will take a call later on, maybe in the coming days, of course. And now they might also look at spraying chemicals to kill the whale. And these are mostly synthetic chemicals which are used for killing a whale. That this is another technology that the oil authorities are now thinking of using to kill the whale that has been burning since June 9th. In fact, the blowout happened on May 27th, and then the fire broke out. There was this huge explosion on June 9th, and since then this particular well has been burning. And like I mentioned, several attempts by the Oil India and foreign experts has just proved futile. In the meantime, huge damage to environment and over 1,000 families affected by this particular development at Baghjan. Now, for some happy news, at an age when most children find it very difficult to string even two sentences properly, there is this kid, Ayan Gogoi Gohai. He's from North Lakhimpur in Assam. He has managed to publish his second book. Now, the first book he published when he was barely 4 years old. His second book is titled Bumblebee, very interesting, fun name there. And his first book was titled Honeycomb. Now, he has been showered with a lot of awards, and he is now being referred to as the child prodigy. And why not? I mean, at this tender age, he has managed to come out with 2 books. His second book, Bumblebee, has been published by Madhya Pradesh-based publisher Sankalpa. The book is an anthology of 22 articles written on different subjects. So definitely, undoubtedly, a child prodigy from Assam's North Lakhimpur, and we wish him all the best. An 18-year-old youth from Hailakandi, again from Assam, he has come out with a tunnel sanitizer, which is an automatic machine, and an automatic hand sanitizer dispenser machine. Now, he's a 6th semester student of Electrical and Electronics Engineering of RIST Meghalaya, Shubhra Jyoti Dhar. So he actually got bored sitting at home, just doing online classes. So he thought it's best to get innovative and try something really new and innovative and in keeping with the needs of the time. And that is how he came out with these automatic sanitizer machines. So brilliant work there from youngsters. One, barely 6 years old, publishing 2 books, and one, this 18-year-old boy, both from Assam, doing wonderful thing during the lockdown. Well, that's all that I have for all of you at this hour. But news and updates continue in sentinelassam.com. Do not forget to log in and stay updated with all the latest that's been happening in the region and around the world. We will continue to bring all the news and updates from across the globe. Do follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Till we meet again, it's good night and goodbye from Team Sentinel Assam.com. Stay safe, take care. Good night.